The heavens are telling of the glory of God. Look up and seek His wisdom from above.
I noted in video 62 that prophecies don't have double fulfillments. If you missed that video, there's a link right up here for you to go back and catch it. It's kind of important for the application of the study in this video. What I'd like to do now is make a bit of a deep dive into Isaiah 7:14. This study will actually be continued in the next 3 videos and will involve the use of rules and procedures that we've already studied in this series. You might say it's kind of a lab. Isaiah chapter 7 and verse 14 is one of the frequently used texts for attempting a proof that the Bible has prophecies that are fulfilled twice. I've even seen it interpreted to have a triple fulfillment. You probably already know that I disagree with that. Is Isaiah 7:14 a prophecy that is fulfilled once in Isaiah's day and again in the birth of Jesus, or just once at the virgin birth of Jesus? I want to begin by pointing out the complexity of this prophecy. We sometimes like to think that everything in the Bible is easily read and understood, and if someone disagrees with us, well, they just don't understand. Well, that's very convenient. However, portions of the Bible, particularly prophecy, do have some difficulty that may be involved in them. You can pick an interpretation and then blow off the points that raise doubts about that interpretation. But a lot of very smart people disagree on what's going on some of these prophecies. To give you some perspective on Isaiah 7:14, early Jewish thought considered this prophecy to be of Hezekiah as the child and Ahab's wife as the virgin. It appears, however, that Hezekiah had already been born at the time of this prophecy. Another view is that the woman was Isaiah's wife and that the child intended is the one from chapter 8. This has distinct advantages due to immediate context, but is not without its own difficulties. One view makes the virgin the nation of Judah, and it bringing the Messiah into the world. This is a problem since we would hardly characterize Judah as a chaste woman. She was up to her neck in idolatries. Still another view takes this to be nothing more than a messianic prophecy, but that leaves the necessity of explaining the context of verses 15 and 16. And there are a number of other views that I won't go into here. All of the candid scholars I've read will admit that all interpretations of Isaiah 7 and 8 have some difficulty. Some even rank chapter 7 as the most difficult chapter in the book of Isaiah. We should remember that this is a natural feature of prophecy. Prophecy frequently veils a full understanding until the actual fulfillment. Our previous video was on this very point, and if you missed it, you can catch it at this link right up here. There were times when God did not want the original recipients of the prophecies to know details of how all would be fulfilled. Okay, if Isaiah 7:14 is so difficult, why am I using it so quickly in this study to make an application of interpretation rules? Well, I actually have 3 things that I want to accomplish. Number 1, I want to make it clear that Isaiah 7:14 isn't the clear example of a prophecy with double fulfillment that some make it out to be. Number 2, I want to warn that we should never accept an interpretation simply because it is how we've always taken it or because it's the accepted view of our church. And number 3, I want to urge us all to be willing to dig deep when our opinion on a subject is challenged and determine whether the challenge is valid. Don't just dismiss it, study it. Now I've given you an idea of where I'm going in the next 3 videos. I want you to study Isaiah 7 and 8 very carefully. In our next video, we'll lay out the overall picture of chapter 7 and fit it into the structure of chapters 6 through 11. I hope you'll be back for that study.